Hello everyone, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel, where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome to Off the Chain, but not just any off the chain. We're going to do a little, I guess you could say, video game DIY here, alright? Now, really quick, a lot of people really enjoy the weaponry that I put out on Save the World, and you know, mostly it's all firearms. Surprise, surprise, Prince Magnum. You know, so one of the things that I was asked to do by some of the folks that I usually run with, hey, would you show us what you do? Because some of the stuff that you do is some pretty cool stuff. A lot of people really like it, and some might say, oh, it's not that great. You know, hey, one of the things I'm going to tell you in this DIY, you know, here on Save the World, on building your own, I guess you could say, firearms on Save the World, is you do you, okay? If you find that doing a certain thing works and works really well for you, then hey, rock that. If you find that something that I do in this little tutorial DIY thing works for you, maybe it might help you out a little bit in the long run, hey, rock it, okay? Now, we're basically going to do a subgun called the Bobcat. And this is, we're going to kind of step in here. And this is the Bobcat. Now, which it looks like pretty much this bullpup subgun that it's pretty futuristic looking, but this gun actually does exist in real life. There's a lot of guns that, that actually exist in real life. Before we go any further, I'll show you guys a few of them that do actually exist. Like this one in particular. This is one of my favorites here on Save the World, and the game calls it the Judge, but in reality it's based on the Colt Python and Colt Anaconda. Now the Colt Python is a .357 Magnum revolver, whereas the Colt Anaconda is a .44 Magnum. You know, and it's made, obviously made by Colt Firearms. Really cool. Another one is this one right here, and this is they call it the Jackal, and I'll show you kind of why, because it's got a little jackalope right there on the handle, nice scroll work on the side, but it's, of course, it's based on the Beretta M9, if I remember correctly. That's, those of you who like the Beretta sidearms, if I got that wrong, please say so in the comments below. And of course, right here, obviously, this is a, you know, a Colt 1911 A1, probably one of the most cloned sidearms in the world, and it's obviously one of my favorites here on the game. Of course, got your over-under shotgun here. The game calls this the Maverick, and this is one of the shotguns that I use pretty heavily in this game. It's a you know, it's just tough to beat this shotgun here in this game, and sometime I might have to go into why it does so well, but you know, it's a very popular shotgun here on the game. And then of course, another one, the Desert Eagle, which the game calls the Bald Eagle, which I just got this one a little while back, and I was really glad that I did, because been wanting that schematic. And of course, you'll hear a lot of people refer to this one as a SCAR, which the SCAR is actually, there is a real life SCAR. This is based on the FNFAL, which fires a .308 caliber, or for those of you in other parts of the world, it'll be 7.62 by 51 millimeter NATO. And of course, this thing, a lot of people really like this one. And of course, there's one called the Nocturno, which I've never come across that schematic. I think that's one of those schematics that they have kind of been vaulted in this game. So so there you have that. And of course, there's of course other weapons, you know, kind of just strung out throughout the game. Like right away, I know a lot of you recognize this design. Those of you who like the AR-15 M16 variants. Really quick, if you hear that term AR, just being slapped on any assault rifle that's not actually accurate. AR stands for Amerolite rifle, if you will, and the Amerolite company designed the original AR-15s, hence AR, you know. And of course, then Colt picked up the design, turned it into the assault rifles that we know today. So, if you ever hear that, just do me a favor, you know, don't bother correcting them. But yeah, AR is actually, you know, a Amerolite company. So there you go. And really quick, we have the Wraith here, which is a suppressed FNFAL, and it's a very popular one amongst the group that I run with. This one here looks like a Ruger Blackhawk. The Ruger Blackhawk, which you know, is another favorite. The Red Hawk is the double action, but the Black Hawk is single action. Of course, the Barrett 50 cal, which the game calls the Obliterator, and I will definitely vouch for that. It does an amazing job taking down whatever bad guys you got. So, and of course, again, if I remember correctly, this is often called the P90. So this is the one that we're actually going to do. Now, I know there's some futuristic weapons in here and some that are kind of cartoonish and kind of really made up, but I do stay very close to the ones that are somewhat realistic. So now that I've said that, the first thing that we need to look at is we're going to have to level this bad boy up. Alright? So right now we've taken this up to a level 10. And you'll note right away the where my cursor is, there's basically two spots here on the top. Now we're not going to bother too terribly much with that at the moment. And because now, you know, we've got level 5, level 10. So we're going to go ahead and evolve this, taking it up to tier 2, or a 2-star weapon now. Alright, so now that we've taken it to a 2-star weapon, we can now take this up all the way, and of course now we have all of our perks unlocked. Okay, now really quick, if you're just starting out in the game, you're not going to obviously be able to do this right away. You're going to be doing this a little bit at a time, I'm going to backtrack for just a second. You can kind of see I've got a bunch of stuff to do this build and kind of do this tutorial. So it's, you know, you could see that I basically took a lot of time to stock up to do this build. Where is that schematic now? I just lost it. There it is. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and take it up to now a tier 3. Now, bear in mind, the lightning in the bottle, the pure drops of rain, you're definitely going to need this stuff as you're building your schematic, okay? This doesn't actually build the weapon. This just builds the schematic so you can make the weapon, all right? And we're going to go ahead and level this all the way up to 30, which is now as high as we can go in tier 3, all right? So the next part of this is we're going to come down here to upgrade. We're going to modify our perks. We're going to start taking a look at that. Alright, now really quick, in this top one, there's going to be different ones to choose from. Now for damage, your element physical plus this, I don't go with that. I usually go ahead and just run energy. It kind of covers all these other 3 plus this. You could, I know right now as I'm videoing this, there's the whole thing with the metal husk, which water damage does really well, electric does okay. I haven't tried fire. Energy doesn't do anything, and physical obviously is not going to do a whole lot. But if you're trying to make an all-around weapon that kind of covers your bases on everything, when you're not dealing with the metal husk, I just run energy. That's all I do. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and change that over. Now, depending on where you're going to go from here, if you will, I like to attach, you know, I like to attach anything that kind of makes it where the weapon lasts for a little while, okay? In this particular case, I don't see a durability perk on anything, but it's not going to matter a whole lot. Now down here we have our magazine size. We are not going to change that. We're going to leave that magazine size. Everything else we're going to change around it, and it'll make sense soon enough. If we were to take and say give it a reload speed, well, that's fine. Okay, you could do a reload speed. A reload speed would be absolutely fine, but you won't need a larger magazine because you're going to be swapping out your, you know, really fast. And I don't do a fire rate. And the reason why I don't do a fire rate is if you've got enough damage and you're putting down enough damage, well, you're not going to have to worry about eliminating the enemy, okay? With a rapid fire weapon, you know, one and done, baby. So the fewer rounds that you're wasting, you know, the better off you are. The less damage you're doing to your weapon, okay? Because it'll make it last longer, if you will. So in this particular case, we are going to lose fire rate. Now, right now, immediately, some people will say, give it a crit rate. Give it a, you know, crit damage. Well, here's the problem with that, okay? And don't get me wrong, there's some of you out there that will do this, and if you are going to do this, that's totally fine. Please do it if that makes you feel comfortable. But with crit rating, even cranking it up or giving it a better crit, the chances of it actually landing a crit hit, you're just increasing the chances of it actually doing that. And that's a roll of the dice for me, okay? Because as you can see right over here, it's a 10% chance. So even if I, you know, increase it to a 15% chance, okay, it's still not going to be enough that every time it's going to happen. So to me, that's a waste. Okay, we're going to leave that alone. If we get lucky and get a 25% increase, you know, critical hit damage, fine. But I want it to actually make sure that it hits hard and drives my point home. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on damage. And then that's what I'm going to change it to. Now you notice that the DPS is going up. Okay, so I've got three, you know, basically now I've got two of them on damage, one of them on energy, which is kind of my all-around. I've got an increased magazine size, and I've got damage to mist monsters and bosses. So now this weapon is kind of an all-around weapon that does straight-up raw damage. Basically, if you will, again, I know some people will go with a rate of fire sort of thing, but here's the thing. All right, nothing against anyone that does that. But what I'm going to say right now with the fire rate, again, I'll click on that. And with the fire rate, I don't like it because I would rather, you know, instead of sending a bunch of little BBs out to stop a freight train, I want to hit it, you know, with a rocket launcher, okay? I want it stopped. So that's how I treat this game, okay? So now that we've got our perks lined out, now again, if you're just starting out in the game, you're going to notice that that for a lot of you out there, it's not going to be this quick. You've got to, you know, you got to farm the wrenches, or as you guys might say over in the UK, the spanners, and then you've got to get the chips and everything to make this work. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and increase our magazine size. We're going to take everything up to a blue. Thank goodness I've got all these chips. I knew I was going to be doing this video, so I spent a lot of time getting everything that I knew I was going to need for this video. So now everything is cranked up quite a bit. And again, you're noticing this DPS number is going up dramatically, okay? So it's gone up. You know, all the numbers are still going up. This is a nasty, nasty, nasty weapon to have on your side now. Okay, so now we could go ahead and start, you know, adding in our purple perks, as I like to call them. I know that sounds cute, doesn't it? Purple perks. So now we're getting this weapon. Just it's going to be off the charts nasty. Okay, so now if you look at it, we're still in tier 3, and this weapon is no joke at this point. You look at that DPS number, damage per hit with the bullets. Okay, headshot damage. None of this changed, but it won't matter. You're still getting 12 rounds a second. Okay, estimated. Magazine size is 81. This is practically a little light machine gun now. Okay, so we're in business here. I mean, this thing is a nasty, nasty weapon. Now, I didn't get a whole lot of purple chips, but what we're going to focus on is we're going to add one orange perk in. Now, obviously, the best thing that we could do is give it just, straight up damage. All right, so that's exactly what we're going to do from here. We're going to give it an increased damage. Because like I said, all this other stuff, once we get the orange chips, we can line this all out, no problem. Okay? And there we go. So now, again, this weapon is a nasty customer. Holds 81 rounds, okay? And this is a tier 3, just a tier 3. We haven't taken it up to tier 5 yet. Now, this here is what they call a core perk. Now, I haven't talked about this yet, but there are choices to choose from. Now, you can leave it like this, or you can give it something different. 5 headshots, which, okay, headshots are cool in game, okay? But just like in real life, the head is a smaller target than the chest, so don't bother. Okay, I know I know some people are going to get really upset when I say that. Each shot fire grants, and that would be an awesome one. Okay, right there. This would be an awesome perk, but obviously I do not have that chip. Okay, for the core perk change. So we're going to have to leave it like this for now. Where do you get these? You have to do the ventures, and I've already used my one. Okay. But once I get another one, obviously I'll change that one out for something a little bit more reasonable. But now that we've done this, okay, and we'll come back to this in a second. Alrighty, so we've gone as far as we can go as far as the perks go. And this already is a nasty weapon, as you can tell. Alright, but we're going to go ahead and take it up to the next level. Now, we have our choices. We can leave it as obsidian, okay, and obsidian would be fine. We're obviously going to get an increased rate of fire, increased rate of impact, but we're going to lose some of our magazine size and some of our damage. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to take a look and go at Shadow Shard. Okay, we're still going to lose some of our durability. We're going to lose magazine size. So here's the trade-off. Do we want increased damage, headshot damage, rate of fire, and impact, or do we want one way or the other, we're going to lose something on this, okay? We're going to lose something in this. Now, again, bear in mind, we have to remember that we're going to be spending a lot of these materials, okay? So one way or the other, and it doesn't matter which one you go, you're going to lose it. Now, because we don't have a durability on here, I'm definitely going to be going the obsidian route. So we're going to definitely go ahead and use obsidian. So yeah, we're going to confirm it, obsidian, which is going to take it over to this spot. So we're going to go ahead and step it up. Again, the numbers are ridiculous still. Okay, now if there was a durability, I would definitely go ahead and consider doing would have went Shadow Shard, but that's just the way I see it. Okay, which we're actually short 2 whole pure drops of rain for me to take it up to level 5. So hang on a second. Have to make that one decision that I hate making decisions like this, but every now and again you're kind of in that position where, okay, do I want to go ahead and get rid of a schematic? So I'm gonna take a look through real quick and see if there's anything that I would like to go ahead and just go ahead and lose for now. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and recycle this here. I really don't need it right now, so we're going to go ahead and recycle the spyglass, and we're going to finish this out. All right, so we're going to go right back here to to our Bobcat, and then we're going to go ahead and finish its evolution. Which I thought I had enough to do this with, but that's okay. So, already, here again, okay, we're going to go over here to the upgrade section, modify perks. Now, obviously, we can't go any further with the perks than what we already have. But please note, the DPS number is ridiculous. It's extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. Take a look at our damage. Headshot damage. Now again, these two things are still going to be a roll of the dice. Even if I'd have came over here, changed anything out, it would have been a roll of the dice for me. And that's no good. I'm not gonna, you know, waste my time on a roll of the dice when it's just sheer power that I'm gonna need. Magazine size is still 81. Rate of fire, 12 rounds a second. Okay. You know, you're welcome to do the math on, you know, what that's, well, I'm not going to bother with it. But this weapon is now absolutely ready to do a lot of damage, okay? And again, I know some people will argue with me, and you're welcome to. I mean, you know, you might do things a little bit differently, but in a nutshell, this should give you a pretty good idea of, you know, what you can get out of this weapon. Now, we'll back off and we'll go over here and kind of craft this bad boy. And I say that we take it into a match and get an idea of what it can do. Alright? And just make sure that you've got enough of everything. So we're going to go ahead. And take a look at that. Right up over here. It's one of our top weapons, okay? As a matter of fact, to make this a little bit more interesting, we're going to come over here to our schematics, and then we're going to put this as one of our favorites. It should be one of our favorites, okay? And there you go. You notice right away, it's right up there, better than the Candy Corn LMG, okay? Better than a rocket launcher, better, you know. So this is a fine weapon that we've just created here. So now that we've done that, we're going to come over here to our backpack. And we're going to actually drop this down into a spot. While we're at it, we're going to craft some ammo because we're desperately short of light ammo. And I've got a bunch of stuff to spare. Alright. And a couple of these swords here, I must confess, this one, I don't know where I think I dug it out of a box. But this one here and the ear splitter were actually gifts, which is kind of cool. People like to give me some pretty cool stuff on this game. Like this one, the electroshock rifle, that was a nice gift. This is a bad weapon. You know, this Santa's little helper. Yeah, people like to drop me some pretty neat stuff. But all right, so now that we've done that, we're going to go into a mission. We're going to do a fairly simple mission. Probably just something simple, a combat zone of some sort. And we're going to take our you know, our P90 in, and we're just gonna unload with it and see what it can do, because I've got a funny feeling that we're going to be very happy with the results. Which, you know, if we're not, we can change it. We can change it. We can rearrange it. We can make ourselves happy with the results. You know what? Let's see. You know what? We'll back out. Let's go ahead and go to Twine Peaks. We'll go ahead and go into Twine Peaks. See if we can find a nice combat zone to go into. Not a whole lot of good combat zones in this area. Not a whole lot of combat zones. But, oh, here's a good one. Here's a good spot. Do I really want to risk it? Boy, it starts getting tough unless you take in backup with you. You know, it's a tough decision, you know, because I'm going to solo this. I will solo this. You know what? We're just going to go ahead and go back to to Canny Valley, and we're just going to go ahead and do a semi-simple one. No need to get all gung-ho here. Oh, here's one. I haven't done this one. We could definitely use those. All right, so we've got a 64. We've got a 64 zone, which soloing, you know, it's just me, myself, and I. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to definitely try out this new weapon. Expect a little bit of rage every now and again because it's a tough zone. Now, some of you, as we go into this, you know, just kind of a heads up, you'll note that I have what is called the Blast from the Past perk. I was suggested this as I got closer to doing the Mythic Storm King. I was suggested that I definitely wanted to definitely do this, and you know, because it just gives you an extremely long lifeline. And it also can give you the capability of healing yourself using some of your capabilities. So it was definitely on the plate. If you build your character right, and I mean you really build them right, that Blast from the Past is really nice. So this is what they call an eliminate and collect. Again, nothing fancy, nothing super over the top. But we're just gonna go out there and we're gonna unload and try out our new subgun and see if we're happy with the results. So that's kind of where we're at now. Now it's going to take me a moment to reload. have it, folks. There's our brand new P90. It seems to do very, very well. I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with this build. It did exceptionally well. I imagine in higher zones it wouldn't do as much damage, but it would still do a decent enough amount of damage that I would be very happy. So there you have it. I mean, here's our, again, our P90 that just is phenomenal. I'm very happy. Couldn't ask for more. All right. So that does bring us to a good stopping point for this particular video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button. If you would like to see more content like this, be sure to leave a comment in the the box below. Alrighty, and be sure to check out the Teespring store, see if there's any merchandise that you really enjoy, and of course, as always, get out there and work on a project. Don't care what it is, just do something with yourselves. Remember, idle hands and a creative mind go together like oil and water. If you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet and do something special for them today. And as always, for all of you out there, if no one out there has told any of you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.
Sayer, 6.22 with an over 116 miles an hour, and right now, good time to go get a hot dog while we wait for Cam.